So, moments away from the start of this FA Trophy final replay here at the Hawthorns. What a contrast to Wembley. Gone the bright blue skies and sunshine, instead a rather drab spring evening, cloudy. A lot of heavy rain something like an hour ago, and it's Burton Albion in the amber shirts getting the match off to its start, but unfortunately really rather a wasted ball there out onto Bob Gordon on big number 5 Colin Brazier. But nevertheless, Neil Dorset now on the left for Albion swings an early crossover, and there's Paul Groves getting a header in, and it's a goal for Burton Albion. The match only just 1 minute old, and Burton Albion take the lead with that lovely cross coming over, and Paul Groves, the number 7. And in fact, we are finding that goal has been disallowed. Just looking why the referee is disallowing it. I wasn't able to pick up the offence, but no doubt as we rerun on the video you're able to see just why Paul Groves not getting on the score sheets for Burton Albion. Bottom of the screen there, number 6 is Martin Woodall. So Mackenzie with the free kick floats it in, and Paul Davies gets the header in straight into the arms of Martin New. A good attack by Kidderminster Harriers right, and the ball does come over to Groves indeed, but Groves very few options but for Bob Gordon in the middle. And Paul Groves, and that ball looked to be going well wide when he struck it, but by the time it passed the post it had curled quite a long way back in, and in the end was not nearly as wide as might have first seemed likely. Woodall to Mackenzie. And here's Paul Davies, he's got goal side of Steve Essex, and here's chances for Kidderminster. Paul Davies homing to, and a bitter cruel blow for Burton Albion, because Paul Davies had a shot with the outside of his right foot which Martin New appeared to have covered, and Alan Kamara with nothing he could do about it, deflecting the ball into the net. Martin New absolutely wrong-footed. There's no way at all that you can fault the goalkeeper there, nor indeed I suggest the defender. It was just one of those cruel deflections. Played very well in midfield at Wembley on Saturday, perhaps faded a little bit later on, but certainly made a telling contribution early on, and that's a nice ball by him to Martin Woodall. Woodall to Paul Davies. Davies to Kevin Collins, and Collins has got room to move. He lines up his shot, and it wasn't so very far wide, although he there running back. Very much a thorn in the side of the Brewers' defence at the moment. Bancroft, that's a lovely ball to Dorset with the outside of his foot, and Dorset's inside his man, and Dorset shoots on goal, but very well blocked by Jim. Bancroft getting the ball through to Gordon, and Gordon's got goal side of Martin Woodall, slips the ball through to Redfern. It's broken now for Paul Groves, and Paul Groves' shot is just over the top of the fingers at the first time of and here's an opportunity now, because Paul Davies has had the ball flicked through to him and is bearing in on goal. And Martin New partially makes the save, but it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient, and Paul Davies says that's probably enough to win the FA Trophy, and he may well be right, because we've got something like 77 minutes gone. We're very late into the game now, and it'll be a long mountain to climb for Burton Albion to come back and save this one. Burton Albion coming in, and there's a goal, number 1, and that is a marvellous reply by Burton Albion. This tie has been excellent. Paul Groves coming in like an express train, met that left wing cross, and immediately the ball was in the back of the net. And that's a poor kick by Martin New. And Paul Davies, is this going to be his hat-trick perhaps? Chipping the ball over, just over the top. Well, the message for Burton Albion is this: Paul Davies is strong on the ball, he's hard to dislodge from it. And here's an opportunity, Kim Casey streaking through, and Martin New fumbling. And surely the third goal, if it stands, will have sealed matters, but no. You can see Kim Casey's response to that, and it certainly looked as if Kim Casey fouled perhaps both Alan Kamara and Martin New as he determined to force that ball into the net. And Kamara putting Martin New under pressure there, as Mick Toohey was closely in attendance. The header by Hazelwood, and Mick Toohey is offside. Now Dorset turning into trouble, but here's Bancroft again. Bancroft following up with a shot, but it lacks power, and it's just wide. The ball over for his side, he's looking for Groves. Groves gets the header goalwards. And there's a handball and a penalty given. Well, I'm afraid Kidderminster will be very angry with themselves for that. If this was to go in. And a marvellous save by Jim Arnold. And Jim Arnold has saved the penalty and perhaps won the trophy for Kidderminster. I've done enough over the last 3.5 hours for this particular cause, and I think I've got it won. The back header from Bob Gordon, but it's the last move in the match, and the FA Trophy final has been won by Kidderminster Harriers. The replay, no one can deny them their success. The trophy being taken to the goal to my right for their fans to have another look, and now the ecstasy beginning to show, isn't it? As the Burton fans troop off to slightly muted applause from their fans. There's the Kidderminster side, absolutely elated. They did what counted. They put the ball in the back of the net and made it count. Football. We've seen commitment from both sides. We've seen endeavour. We've seen total, absolute commitment to the cause. But it's been done in the best possible spirit. And there's Jim Arnold. And perhaps Jim Arnold throwing the trophy into the air is where we should say goodnight to you from the Hawthorn. Paul, you must have felt the cruel misfortune when the ball hit the bar at Wembley on Saturday and came out, but it's made up for it tonight, hasn't it?
It certainly has, yeah. I mean, it was everything I'd hoped for tonight, to redeem myself a little bit. I mean, chances like that you miss all the time, but to miss one at Wembley in the trophy final was a little bit... it was a bit cruel, and I was a bit disappointed, although I enjoyed the day itself. But the way it's gone tonight, I can't believe it. It was everything I'd hoped for.